The international community is now in agreement. A missile that landed in Poland Tuesday, killing 2 people, was most likely a stray rocket fired by Ukraine. Deborah Alfron has more on what this means.
Following an emergency meeting, Poland's president says it's highly probable that the missile that slammed into a Polish border village Tuesday was fired by Ukraine's anti-missile defense. He called for calm as an investigation continues. 2 people died in the incident that came as Ukraine was under a blistering aerial attack from Russia.
And whatever the final conclusions may be, the world knows that Russia bears ultimate responsibility for this incident.
Poland is a NATO member, which means a deliberate attack on the country would require member nations to respond. While in Bali, President Biden met with NATO and G7 allies to discuss the developments.
Russia can and should stop the war. If they're able to do it, they can stop it tomorrow if they wanted to. But I'm glad we're on the same page in terms of supporting the Ukrainian people's right to be free.
With Congress back in session post-election, President Biden is asking for an additional $37 billion in emergency aid for Ukraine, but House GOP leaders have cautioned not to expect a blank check. Ukraine's president says additional aid is desperately needed to help prevent more missile attacks and drive Russia out of Ukraine. He warns that it's just a matter of time before Russia expands its attacks to neighboring countries. Natalie Brandt, CBS News, Washington.
Natalie, thank you. And a resident of the Polish border village where a missile landed says the 2 victims of the blast were men around 60 years of age. Well, Senator Raphael Warnock is suing Georgia for an extra day of advance voting. Right now, Georgia's Secretary of State has warned counties to not allow voting next Saturday. And that's due to a state law that doesn't allow early voting on Saturdays that follow state holidays on the previous Thursday or Friday. Now, the Saturday in question comes after both Thanksgiving and a state holiday that commemorates Confederate General Robert E. Lee's birthday. Warnock is currently getting ready for a runoff election with Herschel Walker after both failed to get 50% of the vote during the midterm elections. And abortions past 6 weeks of pregnancy are once again legal in Georgia for the time being. This after a judge ruled the state's abortion ban unconstitutional. Georgia's Life Act bans most abortions after 6 weeks with some exceptions. Many women are unaware that they are pregnant at 6 weeks. A Superior Court judge's ruling came in response to a lawsuit that sought to strike down the ban. The Life Act was passed by Georgia lawmakers and signed back in 2019. That was before the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, which protected abortion nationwide.